Alright, okay, we got some very bad news. So, it turns out that Spectrum is doing this again. They are dropping all the Paramount/CBS channels again. They did this before on 2017, even though they got really lucky with the fact that the channels like Nickelodeon, MTV, Comedy Central, they were this close to being dropped, as it led to a final agreement that led to them being renewed to keep going. However, here is according to SpongieUpdates. It turns out that Spectrum and Paramount's contract is up after April 30th. If no negotiations are resolved, they'll be dropped, resulting in all Paramount channels going dark, including Paramount-owned CBS and CBS independent stations, including Nickelodeon. This could impact the Paramount/Skydance merger. Well, if that is finalized, that is. I mean, I really wanted to see Skydance ending up with Paramount, as the company is currently struggling and leading to these purges and write-offs and write-downs like that. It's just very of a bit of a problem about what's going on. And Spectrum, oh my goodness, why again? They did this before in 2017, and already we had the Disney Channel dispute last year, and that led to an agreement. Some of these are kept, but not all of them, because the secondary channels like Disney XD, Disney Junior, FXX, Freeform, and so many others got dropped off the service, while Disney Channel, FX, and ABC, as well as ESPN, gets to be kept. I mean, I had to deal with these types of disputes. This happens all the time with these companies. But, Spectrum really does these a bit too far. They've been trying to focus more on the streaming thing with that plan they had earlier this year to focus less on cable for new customers and go more onto streaming. And this is a picture right there about AT&T/DirecTV dropping Nick back when AT&T and DirecTV were together before they split apart like that. I remember that. Though that was a last minute thing that got renewed too, and that was the second time, because the one before that was in 2012, and it led to a week of a blackout. Well, 2 weeks, that is, I think. Now, Paramount is very reliant on their cable channels, so if it goes dark, the merger could fall apart. Or it is likely that under a new agreement, there will be scaled back amounts of Paramount networks offered on Spectrum, like Disney. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I can see some of them being dropped completely if they actually decide to do this, but Spectrum really has its concerns about what they're doing. If they do this to Warner Bros. Discovery, which I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't do it, given how Zaslav is greedy and how he treats the merger like garbage, then Spectrum might go the way of Dodo. That is, if that actually happens. Yeah, I can see them bringing back like MTV, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central if they actually do fill an agreement, but they don't do it completely on the other channels, the ones that have less ratings. Even those like Nick Jr., I mean, they already dropped Freeform. It's a possibility that they might drop Nick Jr. completely. And it actually happened. And it actually happened 3 times, actually. Because before Spectrum, it used to be called Time Warner Cable, and it happened back then too with these like MTV, Comedy Central, Noggin, Nicktoons, Spike TV, you know, all those networks being dropped like that. And there was these promo pictures of SpongeBob and Dora on those newspaper advertisements back then. It's sad that we had to deal with stuff like these on these carriage disputes. Even though that cable has been dwindling down, it is still doing pretty decently, just not as much as it used to be. I mean, Nickelodeon doesn't even pass millions that much anymore. Not even in the Super Bowl. I mean, they did it on Nick at Night, but not Nickelodeon itself. Though it does still kind of count there. But it's just sad to see, and it's something that we had to deal with. Also, I mean, luckily for Nickelodeon, there are ways to watch those shows for free. Besides piracy, of course, there's Pluto TV, which Pluto TV has, well, Totally Turtles. They have the Nick Jr. channel, they have Zoom Zoom, they have Dora TV. They have those networks. They have those from Comedy Central, those from MTV, and, well, of course, it's free. So there wouldn't be that much to worry about if those secondary channels get unfortunately dropped, even though it would be very sad to see, including those like Nick Jr., which actually does pretty decently, though not as much as Disney Jr., which that also got dropped from, well, last year with the Disney dispute with Spectrum. And oh geez, I mean seriously, Kuu Kuu Harajuku just got those lost episodes finally being found. This was like wishing a monkey's paw. Like, back in 2017, when Kuu Kuu Harajuku had premieres on Nick Jr., it led to it having a little thread about it, about Nick Jr. being dropped, even though it didn't get dropped, thank goodness we're in agreement, but still, it really brings some deja vu around here. It's just crazy to see it, but sadly something that we had to live through. Even though there's Pluto TV and other ways to watch these shows for free, Spectrum is doing another carriage dispute which will lead them to losing more and more networks, and it might keep going in the near future if they keep this up. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Are you not that impressed to see about Spectrum dropping more channels, if that is even possible, unless they actually reach an agreement? Also, this might be sad to see if that actually impacts the planned merger with Skydance and Paramount. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace.